Good morning. Welcome to my live stream today. I am very glad you're here. Going to talk about why that I don't trust pretty much anything they say or any problem that they want to solve. And many times, from my experience, the problems are not really problems at all, but rich men's tricks. And that is, of course, the idea that I glean from the documentary Everything is a Rich Man's Trick on YouTube, which is super phenomenal. I highly recommend everyone who wants to really see the world from a different perspective, what I feel is more the true, correct perspective. Many people are waking up to what's been happening in our world for a long time, specifically because of the last few years. They went really hard and fast and lost a lot of people, right? If they're moving slowly, they can keep people on board, so to speak, with their BS. But when they move fast and also break character so much, are incongruent, then a lot of people, they lose a lot of people. And that's what happened in 2020. They lost a lot of people because your government doesn't generally come to you and say, hey, we really care about your health and well-being. Forget everything forget all the food we allow the FDA to put into the grocery stores for you and your family to consume that isn't good for your body. The seed oils, the sugars, the preservatives, the non-organic food, uh, all of the BS, the food colorings. Forget about all that. By the way, we do that so we can help make the corporations who we are beholden to more money. Forget about all that. We care about your health and well-being. And oh, by the way, we're going to keep all of the fast food restaurants open, but we're going and also the DoorDash, you can get your fast food right from the business, or your pizzas or your Domino's pizzas. And I've eaten it too. I don't anymore because of when you know, you know. We're going to let all that keep going, but we're going to close down gymnasiums. We're going to close. You're not going to be able to go see your family and friends in the hospital if you have them there. We're not going to go allow you to do certain things, but we're going to keep the liquor stores open and the fast food restaurants open, and it's all for your greater good. Peter McCullough nailed it when or no, it was Dr. Ryan Cole at at a summit I went to way back in 2021, 2022, probably early 2022. Fantastic. He said he went through all the protocols, and he said, you don't get it that wrong by accident. Every single thing they got wrong, right? Every protocol, what you put on your face, your distancing from other people, and the CDC has admitted as much since then. Stop social connection. That is a huge problem, right? Social connection is one of, if you're a big fan of Andrew Huberman and other scientists that study the human experience, social connection is one of the most foundational, fundamental things that we need to do in order to maintain a healthy mind, body, and soul, right? Relating to other people. This is essentially therapy, right? It's essentially therapy. You get to commiserate, you get to bounce ideas off, you get an ear. This is why friendships are solid freaking gold. And of course, now in the digital age, when they're really isolating people so much, they'll just say, well, okay, here, now your therapist is BetterHelp. I'm sorry, but the friends I have, they're my therapists, and I hope that I'm their therapists. BetterHelp ain't got nothing on my friends, and some of my friends are therapists and coaches, and they seriously rock. I'll tell you, get yourself a counselor or a therapist who's a friend, and show up and be valuable to them, and allow them to be valuable to you, and your whole life will change. You're a friend or a coach, your whole life will change. As Wayne Dyer said, everyone is our teacher and everyone is our student. That's how life is, right? And if you want to pay for BetterHelp, go be my guest. I'm not saying you might not get good results, but I'm just saying, it's weird that they're starting to offer all of these surrogates for deep, meaningful, enriching friendships and relationships, and even familial relationships. But the point, the underlying theme and idea that I want to share with you and impart with you in this live stream is that you will know them by their fruits. And I'm specifically talking about I want to talk about geoengineering. I talked about geoengineering in last night's audio live stream. And the main reason that, one, again, I know too much about who they are and what they are, and I know their fruits. So I don't trust anything they say about climate. CLIMATE, CHANGE. We don't want the little ticker at the bottom of the video because I feel that is the most ridiculous thing in the whole wide world, and a form of creeping towards censorship and thought control, right? Oh, here's what we want you to think about this topic. Here's what we want you to think about this topic. Here's some more information about this topic. BS. I don't need your information. I have a brain and it works very well. Thank you. Despite coming through the public education system. Fortunately for me, that was, a long time ago. And shout out, if you're a parent and you have kids, give some serious thought to how to mitigate or get them out of that education system. In my humble opinion, nothing will do them more harm, depending on what state you're in. Some states are clearly better than others, but in my humble opinion, nothing will do them more harm than allowing them to be indoctrinated not only by the ideas in the education system, which are horrible in and of themselves. We're seeing fruits of that, but also the mentality that it trains you for. Remember, education system is training kids to be a cog in the wheel. And as I go on my own journey of entrepreneurial journey, creating products and services and content to serve humanity in the way that I feel, that the way that I'm inspired to do, as I go on my own journey in this world, I look out into the world and I see the younger generation and I think about that adage, if youth only would, if old age only could. And I look at these young people as maybe older people were looking at me when I was younger, figuring out what I wanted to do with my life, going on the path toward, what we feel is our purpose, right? At that time, the purpose is mostly just partying when I was younger. I look at these kids and I just give them prayers and blessings, hoping that they will be able to purge off the bullshit of, hey, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I have this? Can I have that? Can I go to the restroom? Can I please take a day off of school? It's BS. It's not how human beings are meant. As a dynamic, multidimensional, multifaceted human being, spiritual being enjoying a human experience, it stifles human beings. And it also crushes the creative spirit and also just the general spirit of children. And it's super detrimental. This is why many people, the people that are paying attention, are doing unschooling and homeschooling and or classical Christian education. Again, it depends on what state you're living in. The education system is going to do you dirty in a degree. In some states, if it's a red state and your education system's pretty baller, your kid might not be adversely affected in that way. But again, I'm skeptical of it all because again, it comes from the GOV, right? It comes from the state and or the federal. Back to my point, you will know them by their fruits. The reason I don't listen to anything that they say anymore is because everything that I have studied has been complete and total bullshit. Again, just describing, I don't blame them for doing that. Life on planet Earth is can be savage. Look at the animal kingdom, right? The animal kingdom is no joke because they don't have money. All they have is, teeth and claws and beaks and talons and defense systems, and porcupines have quills. The animal kingdom is savage because that's how life is, survival. In the human world, we have money, and so it's a much more sophisticated and refined way of exploiting other creatures, other human beings. And it does seem sophisticated until it does not, right? Until you are completely shackled. This is why the smart people are doing what they can to extricate themselves from the beast system in the best possible way. Slowly but surely, day in, day out. The more you can insulate yourself from the bullshit, the better off you're going to be, right? Income, expenses, self-reliance, food, water, shelter, security, all the things that you can do to get out of the BS because we saw in 2020 how fragile the shit was. Oh, you can't go to your job because your job involves, interacting with people in this way. So you're done. Good luck finding a new job. By the way, us in the gov, we're set because we don't have to live by the rules that we make for you guys. F off. That's what I think to myself. F off. I have no patience for the bullshit any longer. You will know them by their fruits. Look at the cities. We know this CLI MATE bullshit is coming from the left. Hard. Al Gore started it. I don't know who really started it, if it was someone before him, but we know it's coming from the left. And all you got to do is look at the cities that are being run by the left and go, you guys suck at managing your cities. Why should I believe you can manage? Just say, for instance, that you believe there's a problem, or that they've convinced you that there's a CLI MATE problem. I'm not convinced. Let's say you believe that. Why on God's green earth would anyone look to those people, the people that are running the Democratic states and cities, California, New York, Oregon, Washington, Illinois, speaking of Chicago, starting to happen in Denver and Colorado? Why on God's green earth would you look to those people to solve any problem whatsoever? Their states are hemorrhaging money, and they spend money in the most stupid ways I've ever seen in my life. There's garbage and worse, and you know what I'm talking about, on the streets. Homelessness is out of control. They're not solving the problem. Just the other day, I ran across a short clip on Joe Rogan's podcast, talking about the money that these government officials and people plugged into the bullshit, the government system, right, are making off of this homeless problem. They're not solving the problem. The problem continues to get worse, but some people in society who are working for the GOV are making a lot of money, hundreds of thousands a year, to solve the problem. It's a scam. It's a rich man's trick, right? How inefficient can we spend your money? Well, let's try it. Let's send a bunch overseas. Let's fund stupid studies and dumb art projects. Again, I consider myself an artist as well, and I don't want the government to be spending money on silly art. Not when we're in the situation that we're in right now. Let's send it overseas. Let's spend it on frivolous studies and funneling money to universities, right? Let's spend way more than we need to solve problems. Let's get a group or a committee together to solve a problem that really, is a non-issue. Or even if it is an issue, I don't see them as good problem solvers. So I've seen the fruits of their labor. Of course, I talked about what I saw in COVID times. That's complete BS. We're $33 trillion in debt. They're not solving any problems there. Their priority is to ban TikTok when we have numerous myriad other problems in the world that are far more pressing than that. They are complicit in the genocide that is happening in Gaza right now. Nothing they do instills me with confidence and or makes me think that they are competent at all in any way, shape, or form. And so there I look at them and go, you know what? Peace out. And that is why I make this content. That's why I share things. I just got done with a 3-part video, 3 separate videos about Bill Clinton. And there we want to help Haiti. And Haiti's in still a shitty situation. And by the way, now billions of dollars are now gone from the federal government, I don't know where they got it from. And a lot of people donated money. This is why I really encourage people, think long and hard before you donate money to these philanthropic organizations. Really, really think long and hard. Remember, money is the tool they use to enslave humanity. Money is the thing that all these bullshit nonprofits, all their little front agencies, all the little LLCs, the little shell companies that who has set up, that's how they enrich themselves and steal from the rest of us, the 99%. One of these days when I get around to it, I've got it in the queue, I will be sharing a video about what I feel is the biggest problem in the world right now is the transfer of wealth coming out of third world countries into the hands of the 1%, and also out of good, well-meaning people that just don't haven't discovered how the system really works and don't know their heart's in the right place, but they haven't maybe done the research to understand what the Clinton Foundation is, what the Soros Open Society's foundation is, what they're actually doing, right? What the Biden family is actually doing with that money. What was happening with the FTX scandal? What is going on with the Ukraine money? What is really going on with the money we send to Israel? There's a lot of things going, and because some people haven't taken the time to dig in, they don't really know. I didn't know. I didn't know, right? Until you actually put on your investigative journalist hat and dive in, you do not know, you cannot understand the depths of the bullshit. The depths of the bullshit. The Pentagon itself loses billions of dollars every year, just evaporates out of thin air. What are you going to do about that? Where does it go? Billions of dollars, that's not something you can just go, "Oh, well, we lost it, our bad." No, it's a problem. It's a major problem. You will know them by their fruits. How they do one thing is how they do everything. This is why I never trust them no matter what they say. I wouldn't trust them even if my life was in grave danger and in peril. I would be like, "Well, I know you're not good problem solvers. You're not competent, and I'm not confident in your ability." Either one of them, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. We know that on an individual level, but for some reason people have a difficult time accepting it on a federal or state government level. They are picking it up. They are picking it up. They are picking up the memo that has been happening over the last because of the last number of years. That's when I picked up the memo. I was like, "Oh shit. These guys are going to a whole new level." I'll leave you with this, and you can go check this out. I just downloaded it yesterday. I had already actually had it downloaded. I forgot that I had it. That is Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. That document will blow your mind. You can get it at archive.org. Just Google up Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Mind blowing, and it'll also help you make sense of what's going on in the world. It certainly is doing that for me, because the world doesn't make sense right now if you look at it from the standpoint of, oh, they're here to help us. They work for us. The world makes a whole lot of sense if you read Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you for listening to this video. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I want to invite you to check me out on all my social media at gmarkphillips, or also subscribe here on YouTube or Rumble or Odyssey if you're watching this. Until next time, I wish you all the best, health, wealth, and success. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.